Some traditional trees could disappear from the British countryside forever as changing weather patterns are creating ideal conditions for diseases to spread. The National Trust says it's trying to build woodlands that are more resilient to our changing climate. But is enough being done to protect the world's natural solutions? And Sisi, I know you've done a lot of work on adaptation. I mean, how important a role can nature play in those projects trying to mitigate against the effects of climate change?
Yeah, sure. So there are many nature-based solutions, such as one can build rain gardens or green roofs or permeable roads, and these are roads basically that absorb a lot of water. In terms of, I actually like to highlight a initiative which is happening in China right now, which is a country that I study quite a bit. The government has launched a 1 trillion investment in this initiative called the Sponge City Initiative, but basically it's finding new ways of building city surfaces and roads which will absorb water that stops from floods, and it's like a new way of kind of constructing cities. And by 2030, the government is actually aiming to have 80% of its urban areas to be sponge-like. So these cities will absorb water, flood water, in essence, very quickly. And there are some preliminary results that are showing that the investment in these kind of resilience programs are yielding up to 20 times investment returns. So it's really worth investing in this kind of resilient programs because they give you a lot of avoided damages.
Sisi, very briefly, I mean, we were hearing about the National Trust warning about diseases in trees. The problem is, though, that climate change might affect some of those nature-based solutions, mightn't they? Very briefly, if you can.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, trees are very, the lungs of the planets, right? We need to protect them. So I think one nature-based solution is to not kind of plant more trees. And in fact, a study has shown if you plant 1 trillion trees, we can have the potential to save the planet, at least to keep our, global temperature rise below 1.5 degrees. It has the potential to destroy, but we need to protect trees.
Okay, very quickly,
Yeah.
Richard, I mean, obviously nature plays a big part in mitigating against the effects of climate change, but it can be affected deeply by it as well.
Yes, and we need to understand that for all kinds of reasons. We rely upon nature, for a lot of the food that we eat. We rely on, we need healthy soil, we need insect pollinators and all of these things. We know that wildlife is shifting its ranges and in response to climate change, we need to understand that and adapt to it because basically we need to, humanity to be able to survive well, in the nature of 40, 50 years time as well as it does now.